how come Taoists are so grounded and healthy and live extremely long lives doing this, while saints and monks from other traditions look like this when they grow old? And how come this Taoist was married multiple times, had tons of kids, and lived a whopping 256 years? I know you don't believe that, but I'm going to give you some proof. And I'm going to explain what was his secret and why Taoism is the most healthy spiritual path in the world. If you practice it, you will use your vital and sexual energy to fuel your spiritual path, and spirituality will never feel like something that's different from your normal life. Shouldn't be, right? So I'm going to explain how for thousands of years Taoists have developed secret techniques to build your spirituality from the ground up by transforming energies called Jing, Qi and Shen. And at the end of this video I'm going to tell you how you can start doing that right now. Hi, I'm Alex, the Dutch Taoist. So for decades I practiced deep meditation and Kriya Yoga for hours a day. And I had all kinds of beautiful, blissful samadhi experiences. But after that I would very often feel depleted, and I would go downstairs after my meditation and the kids would be screaming, and it would be difficult to keep my peace and love and not just start screaming back to them, which happened more often than I wanted. So I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. Then a Taoist teacher told me, and this was a real shock to me, that my spirituality had no foundation in the lower part of my body, and that's why I was cut off the life-giving energy from the earth and my own sexuality. And he told me to start focusing my attention in my belly, which we call the lower Tanchen. And when I started practicing that, the first thing I noticed was I started to feel so much better. And it was like my body had so much more energy than my heart would just overflow with love. How could that be? Because these practices seem so simple and body-based. So most types of spirituality are head or heart-centered, and we like it that way. For instance, the Zen tradition and Advaita Vedanta, they focus on the mind, mental clarity, insight, emptiness. And Eckhart Tolle, for instance, is all about mental processes. And then we have the group that focuses on the heart. Christianity is clearly about love and compassion, and so is Buddhism and Sufism. And some of the Western paths that focus on therapy and emotions, it's mostly about the heart. But what's missing is the biggest part of who you are, and that's your body. Now, you might say, yeah, but in yoga, you use your whole body, and that's true, and it's great, but in yoga, once the meditation gets deeper, you start focusing on the crown chakra. And that's the goal, which is in the head, which is what I did for 25 years. And yoga deals with energy in a whole different way than Taoism. So let me explain why Taoism is so much more healthy. So this Taoist is called Qingyun, and he lived for 256 years. He died in 1933 of natural causes. And according to official Chinese reports, he was married 24 times and had probably almost 200 descendants when he died. Now, Li himself said that he was born in 1736, but a professor of the Chengdu University discovered Chinese government records from 1827 congratulating him on his 150th birthday, and other documents congratulating him on his 200th birthday in 1877. So that meant he was not born in 1736, but in 1677. And there were even many eyewitness accounts in the villages to back this up, of people who said that their grandfathers and great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers all had known Li when he was a grown man. So even if half of it is true, then how did he do it? How did he live that long? So he had been living mostly in nature on a diet of herbs, rice wine and water from the rivers, which in those days were not polluted at all. So okay, that's healthy in itself, but it doesn't explain the extreme old age, because Li Chenyun was a Qigong master, and he would walk so fast that young men could not keep up with him. Now, Li is not the only Taoist who lived up to an extremely ripe age and just burst with health. I myself know at least 3 or 4 practicing Taoists who literally never ever get sick. Now, I'm way more healthy than I was 15 years ago, but I'm still not there, and that's why I study this stuff. And the secret is because of the way Taoists deal with energy, how we harvest energy and turn what we call Jing into Qi into Shen. Like ice turns into water, turns into vapor. So what does that mean? In Taoism, we learn that energy that keeps us alive is called Jing Energy. And if you have enough of that, you will live much longer. So Jing is basically the juice of life, right? It's energy that you gather from the earth and nature. It's raw, vital energy that we need to keep alive. And it's also sexual energy, which is the strongest energy available for your health. And normally men, they waste their precious Jing energy in ejaculations, and women lose that strong life-giving energy every month when they have their periods. But Taoists know how to have sex without ejaculation and have much deeper orgasms than normal to get even more energy. And Taoist women know how to lessen the loss of blood during their periods. And that's why Taoists are so healthy. We don't waste the most precious energy that we have. We use that energy for our health and meditation. And I can tell you that it was a game changer for me. So we gather energy from the earth and nature and our sexual organs, and we move and purify that Jing energy into Qi, which is a more subtle kind of energy that your body can use to become more healthy. And we store all that Qi in our bellies. It's like a warm energy, and that's why Taoists say we like to have a warm belly, which means we have enough fuel to be healthy, balanced and happy. And what happens is, once you have so much energy in your belly, it starts to overflow in your heart, and your heart will purify that Qi in what we call Shen Energy, which is mental and spiritual energy. And that energy will overflow into your head and it will give you clarity and bliss. But it's a bliss that has a good foundation in your vital energy, in your body, which means it's much more stable and it feels so much more natural because your whole body and your whole being is included in that process. And if you do it right, this all happens by itself. So Taoists don't try to manifest love or bliss out of thin air. We build that energy from the ground up, literally. And that's why people feel great the moment they start practicing these simple exercises. That's what I always hear from my new students. I feel so great and I don't know why. Well, it's because of this very grounded way of dealing with your own energy. When I started doing this, I started to have deep awakening experiences without any effort. It felt effortless. And all I kept thinking was, how is it possible? I feel so good. I feel like really, really, really good. So you can start doing that today. In our society, the heart and the head, that's where we live most of the day, right? And it's not healthy and it will deplete your energy. But to start living in your belly, first you need to ground yourself. That's where I see people go through incredible breakthroughs within an hour. So that's why I have this very easy exercise to get you started to ground yourself. And you can just click the link below to start doing that right now. It's the best advice I can give you to get more energy because it's the best advice that my teachers gave me and that changed my life. So click the link below if you're serious about this, and it will work wonders for you if you just do it.